The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Akeem walked through the crystalline doors, her boots echoing against the polished floor. Behind her, on a reinforced leash that seemed almost comical, trotted a creature that made the assembled aliens lean back in their seats. "Is that—" Ambassador Threxic's translator stuttered. "A Terran combat beast?" Akeem smiled, her dark eyes gleaming with amusement. "This is Gerald. He's a honey badger." The council members exchanged nervous glances. They had heard the stories about Earth, of course. Everyone had. A death world so hostile that its dominant species had evolved through constant warfare with everything. The environment, the wildlife, even each other. The humans had only been part of the galactic community for 3 standard cycles, but already their reputation preceded them. Representative Akeem, High Chancellor Vornal, began, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence. "We summoned you here to discuss the incident on Station Helios 9. You mean where Harry saved 200 lives?" Akeem asked, her voice pleasant but sharp. "Where human Harry violated 17 safety protocols, breached a quarantine zone, and manually vented 3 sections of the station into space," Threxic corrected. Mandibles clicking with irritation, Akeem reached down and scratched Gerald behind his ears. The honey badger made a satisfied chirping sound that caused the nearest council member to flinch. "Let me tell you what actually happened, since your report seems to have missed some details." She tapped her wrist console, and a holographic display materialized above the council floor. "Station Helios 9 6 days ago. An experimental plasma conduit ruptures. Your engineering team, all Vornal's people highly trained, followed protocol. They sealed the section, activated suppression systems, and waited for specialized equipment. Correct procedure," Vornal said stiffly. "Except the plasma fire was spreading through the ventilation system. At the rate it was growing, it would have reached the station's fusion core in 47 minutes. Everyone would have died." Akeem zoomed the hologram in on a specific section. Harry was there for a mining equipment delivery. "He saw what your engineers couldn't or wouldn't. The protocols were going to kill everyone. Human Harry had no authority," Threxic began. "Harry had a pressure suit, a plasma cutter, and what we call initiative," Akeem interrupted. "He breached the quarantine zone, manually cut through 2 bulkheads that your protocols said were structurally critical, and vented the sections before the fire could spread. Yes, he violated your rules. He also saved every life on that station, including your nephew, Chancellor." The chamber fell quiet. Gerald sniffed the air and made a low growling sound. Vornal's scales rippled with what might have been embarrassment. "The report mentioned unusual risk tolerance. That's a diplomatic way of saying you think we're insane," Akeem said. She walked closer to the council bench, Gerald padding alongside her. "You've all read the xenopsychology reports on humans. You know we come from a Class 12 death world. You know we evolved as persistence hunters who could chase prey until it died of exhaustion. You know we domesticated wolves and turned them into pets. That we eat chemicals that cause pain for pleasure. That we voluntarily throw ourselves out of aircraft for entertainment." She paused, letting her words sink in. "You think Earth breeds lunatics? Maybe you're right. Then why should we trust humans in positions of responsibility?" Another council member asked. "A being composed of semi-liquid gel that pulsed with bioluminescence. If your species is genetically predisposed to recklessness, because recklessness and courage often look the same from the outside," Akeem said quietly. "The difference is knowing when the risk is worth it." She gestured to Gerald. "You want to know why I brought a honey badger to the Galactic Council? Because he's a perfect metaphor. Honey badgers are pound for pound one of Earth's most fearless creatures. They'll fight lions, raid beehives, and eat venomous snakes. Are they crazy? Maybe. But they survive in one of Earth's harshest environments because they refuse to back down." Akeem's expression hardened. "Harry didn't violate your protocols because he's reckless. He did it because he understood something your procedures don't account for. Sometimes survival requires breaking the rules. Sometimes being careful means everyone dies. You cannot seriously suggest we abandon safety protocols," Threxic protested. "I'm suggesting," Akeem cut in, "that you consider the possibility that humans see dangers you don't. Precisely because we come from a world that tried to kill us every single day. Your species evolved on peaceful worlds with stable climates and docile wildlife. You developed civilization without the constant threat of extinction. That's wonderful, But it also means you build protocols for a universe that's much gentler than it actually is. She pulled up another hologram. A list of incidents. Since joining the galactic community, humans have been involved in 38 protocol violations. In every single case, those violations prevented catastrophic loss of life. We're not trying to undermine your systems. We're trying to keep people alive. Vornal studied the data, his eyes moving independently to track different columns. Finally, he spoke. What do you propose, Representative Akeem? Don't punish Harry. Instead, assign humans to emergency response teams throughout the galactic community. Use our lunacy. Our death world instincts might save lives in situations your protocols can't handle. The council members murmured among themselves. Gerald chose that moment to yawn, displaying an impressive set of teeth that made several aliens recoil. We will consider your proposal, Vornal said finally, but human Harry will need to undergo formal evaluation. Akeem smiled. Harry's already been through more dangerous situations before breakfast than most species face in a lifetime. He'll be fine. As she turned to leave, Threxit called out, Representative Akeem, one question. Why did you really bring the honey badger? Akeem looked back, her grin widening. Because, Ambassador, sometimes you need to show people exactly what kind of crazy you're dealing with. Gerald here? He doesn't care about your protocols, your rules, or your expectations. He just does what needs to be done. She paused at the doorway. That's humanity, Ambassador. We're the species that looked at the stars and decided we belonged there, despite having no wings, no natural armor, and no business leaving our planet. You called us lunatics, maybe we are. But we're the lunatics who'll run into a burning building to save you. Gerald chirped again, and Akeem walked out, leaving the Galactic Council to contemplate the terrifying, wonderful madness of humanity.